All right, there's rumors that the Las Vegas Raiders could possibly go out there and get Maxx Crosby or trade Maxx Crosby. Right now, I was listening to Shannon Sharp, and he said the Raiders don't really have much. They traded their best receiver in Jacoby Myers. I think he got paid in Jacksonville. They traded, and eventually they paid him a few weeks ago. And really, they possibly would trade probably Geno Smith or cut him or trade Maxx Crosby and get more draft capital for, Crosby. And, the number one question for a lot of Lions fans is, should the Lions be interested in draft and getting Maxx Crosby? Honestly, they can clear up a whole bunch of cap space by getting rid of some contracts. To be honest, I was reading, I could be wrong on this, they can clear up to 118 in cap. Right now, they was projected to be 15 million or 50 million over the cap. But I think they didn't use a large percentage of that cap. So I think it was around 20 million over the cap. There's a lot of guys you probably won't see back. DJ Reed, Amik Roberts, Anzarike, Josh Pascal, Marcus Davenport, Alex Anzalone, you know what I'm saying? There's probably going to be some other, key veterans where they just turn over some of this roster and they replace them. Some guys you see or will see back. I like to see Avonte Maddox back, Roxanne back. So it's a lot of these guys that, you may not see Graham Glasgow back. So a lot of these guys that you may not see back, and they may turn over the leaf to a lot of these younger players or other veterans they may surround them with. My thing is this: I would probably have to look at the draft. I see a couple of defensive ends in the draft. My thing is this: they have multiple needs amongst the defensive line, right? You go Tyleik Williams. Hopefully, I think they should bring back Roy Lopez, Tyleik Williams, Aleem McNeil. Then on the other side, you go Aiden Hutchinson. Other than that, when I look at it, they need a defensive tackle that can rush the passer. You know what I'm saying? I think that's more of a need than a defensive end, right? They need a defensive tackle that could push the pocket. Now, one may say Aleem McNeil get back to what he was, and then, Tyleik Williams, who said he was dealing with some injuries and stuff. If Tyleik Williams can, shave some weight like Aleem McNeil and push the pocket, that's what you're looking for. But guess what? We can't live in potential. We got to live in knowing we need to find a guy that can push the pocket at the defensive tackle position. That's the biggest problem. If they can get penetration up the middle of that defense, for the most part, you'll be okay with Al-Quayed Muhammad at defensive end and drafting somebody else over there to help or somebody else to hold it down. But they absolutely need somebody who can push the pocket in the middle of that defense. You know what I'm saying? And that's the issue, is that if Aiden Hutchinson has somebody that could get pressure in the quarterback's face, that's a lot of his sacks, and that's the most effective pressure that would help. And my thing is, that's what they should be looking at after the fact if Taylor Decker leave. If Taylor Decker leave, the left tackle is number one. The defensive tackle that can push the pocket is number two. Then that defensive end position become priority number three, right? But if you can get that defensive tackle, that three technique that can rush the passer, and he can stop the run, you'll be set. You can just bring a lot of the guys back, not the injury prone guys, but you can bring Al-Quayed Muhammad back, the kid from Boise State back, and probably find another guy that can come in and help you out right there. But in reality, Trey Hendrickson may be a free agent. Maybe you can entice him to come here. But for me personally, Maxx Crosby, local guy, great fit. My thing is, in the draft, I would rather go in the draft and get a kid, right? If I can get a kid in the draft, right, and I can bring back Al-Quayed Muhammad or somebody comparable to that, I'd rather do that. I'd rather do that than, trade for Maxx Crosby and give up draft capital. If Hendrickson from the Bengals, if I can get him without giving up that draft capital, I would rather do that. But I think he's going to be looking for the highest payday. So in my opinion, the Lions must position themselves in the first two rounds of that draft. Let's just talk outside of free agency right now, because I don't know who a free agent. But the Lions must position themselves in general to fill the left tackle position and a pass rushing position, whether it's an interior defensive tackle or a defensive end, right? They must position themselves to find that. Last year, they tried to get James Pierce, who turned it up the second half of the season. But they must address those three needs, to be honest. So, you know, in reality, we'll see what happens. But, you know, Maxx Crosby, I wouldn't go out there and trade for Maxx Crosby. I'm not giving up that draft capital to get Maxx Crosby 2 1s or a 1 and a 2 and a 4. And I'm not giving up that to get Maxx Crosby, to be honest. I'm going to trust my ability in free agency and my ability to draft to fill those positions. But that's my opinion on it. That's my opinion. I just think you got to give up too much to get them. The Raiders in desperation mode. I'm not doing it. You got to remember they might get a compensatory 5th pick. They traded some picks to get Eisen Tesla. So I think the activity is you keep the back end together. You might have to find a safety just in case. But I think Branch should be good. I think Kirby hopefully he should be good. I bring all the corners back. Even the Meek. But if not, I bring Rackstraw back, Reed back, Arnold back. You know, I figure that shit out. You know, we might need another coverage linebacker. We could figure that out. But in reality, my priority is left tackle, pass rusher in the interior, pass rusher on the outside. And if they can take care of those 3 positions and feel comfortable with it, I think that'd be okay. But I don't think you're in the position to give up capital to get Maxx Crosby. Now, if you ask me, hey, who would you draft? Who would you give up draft capital to get if you had to get something, you know, available? And I'm going to give you a name. You know what I'm saying? I said it last offseason. I'm going to say it this offseason. That defensive tackle is named Jeffrey Simons or Simons down there in Tennessee. That's the guy I'm going after. That's the guy I'm willing to give up draft capital to get a guy that's you know, who is a trench baby. You know what I'm saying? He going to get after the passer. He going to sack the quarterback. He going to stop the run. Instantly, you become a problem in the NFC North. You know what I'm saying? You get that kid, you instantly become a problem. I'm willing to give up draft capital to get him because I know how important it is. Now, the thing about it is, okay, which way you do it after that? As far as what you do with Tyleik Williams, what you do with Aleem McNeil, I hold on to all of them. You know, just to see how Aleem McNeil back up. If you drop out that Jeffrey Simons guy, you put that out there, you put, you know, Aleem McNeil out there, you put Aiden Hutchinson out there. In reality, you can bring back Alquay and Muhammad and get a little bit of help behind them. You'll be okay. But Simons, that's the guy I'm willing to give up capital for. The dude from Tennessee. Hopefully, I'm saying that's the guy like that I'm willing to give up draft capital for. Not Maxx Crosby. And there's no disrespect to Maxx Crosby. It's just the importance of that position that they're missing. But they get that kid, you know, they instant Super Bowl contenders, in my opinion. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, check out the Detroit Lions Top playlist. Find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram. Everything inside the link tree is the first link in the description. Peace.